Len Bias, a story of talent, tragedy, and legacy. Len Bias was a rising basketball star in the 1980s, set to join the Boston Celtics. His promising career was cut short by a sudden drug overdose, making him a symbol in the fight against drugs. His life and death had a significant impact on anti-drug policies, leaving a complex legacy. Some stories leave us wondering what could have been, and Len Bias's is one of them. In the 1980s, Len Bias was poised to become the next great basketball legend. Bias was seen as the future of basketball as a dynamic athlete, a fierce competitor, and a charismatic presence both on and off the court. But just as his journey was about to begin, it was tragically cut short. Today, we'll uncover the life of Len Bias, his incredible rise to fame, and the heartbreaking events that made his name synonymous with lost potential. Transition to upbeat basketball highlights. Born on November 18, 1963, in Landover, Maryland, Leonard Kevin Bias was destined for greatness. Growing up in a middle-class family, Bias found his passion for basketball in high school, playing for Northwestern High School. It wasn't long before the University of Maryland recruited him. Under the guidance of legendary coach Lefty Driesell, Bias honed his skills and became one of the most dominant players in college basketball history. Bias was a two-time ACC Player of the Year with his explosive athleticism, deadly mid-range jump shot, and electrifying presence on the court. By his senior year, he was drawing comparisons to Michael Jordan, with many scouts believing that Bias might surpass even the greatness of his airness. But it wasn't just his skill that stood out, it was his personality. Friends and teammates described him as confident yet humble, always ready to light up the room with his smile. Bias was more than a basketball player, he was a role model and a hero to many. June 17, 1986, was the night Len Bias's dreams came true. The Boston Celtics, fresh off an NBA championship, selected Bias as the second overall pick in the NBA draft. The Celtics were one of the most iconic teams in basketball history, and now they had their future cornerstone. Excitement rippled across the basketball world. Boston fans saw Bias as the player who could carry their team into the next era, alongside legends like Larry Bird. For Bias, this was the culmination of years of hard work and sacrifice. He had made it to the NBA, the pinnacle of basketball. Or so it seemed. The turning point of his life. Just 48 hours after being drafted, Len Bias's life came to a sudden and devastating end. On June 19, 1986, Bias returned to the University of Maryland to celebrate with friends. According to reports, he used cocaine for the first time that night, a choice that would prove fatal. In the early hours of the morning, Bias collapsed in his dorm room. His friends called 911, but it was too late. Bias was pronounced dead at Leland Memorial Hospital. The cause of death? Cardiac arrhythmia brought on by cocaine intoxication. Remember to like, share, and subscribe to my channel JSM. The news sent shockwaves through the sports world and beyond. How could someone so young, so talented, and so full of promise be gone so suddenly? Fans mourned. Teammates grieved. And the world was left grappling with the loss of a star whose light had barely begun to shine. Clips of press conferences and news reports from 1986. The death of Len Bias didn't just affect his family and fans, it changed the landscape of American society. The Boston Celtics, who had envisioned Bias as their future, were left reeling. Meanwhile, the University of Maryland faced scrutiny for its role in allowing a culture of excess to thrive among its athletes. On a larger scale, Bias's death became a symbol in the fight against drugs. His passing sparked a wave of anti-drug legislation, including the Anti-Drug Abuse Act of 1986. While the intention was noble, the resulting policies, such as mandatory minimum sentencing, disproportionately impacted marginalized communities and have been criticized for their lasting societal harm. Highlights of Bias's college career and tributes from fans. Despite the tragedy, Len Bias's legacy endures. His name is remembered not only for the immense talent he brought to the game but also for the lessons his story teaches. Bias is a reminder of the fragility of life and the consequences of even one poor decision. Every year, fans and players honor his memory, wondering what he could have achieved in the NBA. Could he have been the next Michael Jordan? Could he have led the Celtics to more championships? We'll never know, but one thing is certain: Len Bias's impact on the game and on those who knew him is immeasurable. Len Bias's story is one of incredible talent, lost potential, and profound lessons. His life reminds us of the power of choices and the importance of appreciating every moment. Thank you for watching, and if you found this story moving, please like, subscribe, my channel Jet Set Misfortunes, and share your thoughts in the comments below. Until next time, take care.